Welcome, everybody. This is the Independent Mind Podcast. We are your host. I am DJ Mixwell, and as always, I am with my boy Giovanni. How you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing great. It was definitely one of those days where like my mind started to get in conflict with my body as far as for action, but we managed to push through and get a lot of work done. So that's always good.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I think honestly, it was starting to become one of those days for me as well. But as always, here we are, and we're rocking it no matter what. Sheesh. Let's what we were talking about right before we hopped on. We happen to be talking about some crypto, which is funny. Um, you had brought up the person who started Bitcoin. The name that you see on Google is not the actual person who created it. That's wild to me.
Yeah, so the guy's name on Wikipedia and what's kind of circulating across the web is I'm probably going to butcher the hell out of this. Satoshi Nakamoto, right? And this is actually like an alias, right? And there's this whole conspiracy in the air of like who the hell created Bitcoin. It's really, really interesting. Like, I recently posted like a kind of fairly controversial post on TikTok. So like now the algorithm's like, okay, this guy, tinfoil hat, let's go ahead and send him a whole bunch of conspiracies. One of them landed me on this guy, Dan Penna, speaking about Bitcoin and saying that like if the world knew who the actual creator of Bitcoin was, the true founder of Bitcoin, that Bitcoin will plummet to zero in a millisecond. It would be almost instant. So we're, kind of wondering like, who the hell could that be that's that bad?
That bad. Yeah, no, that's a trip, man. And I think for anyone who doesn't really know Dan Penna, he's a billionaire himself, and he's basically a self-proclaimed billionaire teacher that has students under him that creates wealth. So it's kind of interesting that he does say that. And yeah,
Yeah,
it's a trip to me.
I see here that he's like mentored a lot of different CEOs, a lot of like, top performers financially. So to hear someone like this, with old experience, born in 1945, to come out and drop something like this, I mean, it's probably not going to get much algorithm push, but it's definitely worth keeping your ears open for, I would say.
Yeah, and I think just to play that devil's advocate, it also makes me wonder, if you're a billionaire, do you have true intentions on saying, like, on speaking the truth, or what are your intentions behind that? Because it's like, I think for me, I think if I had that much money, I just don't think I would care to even like bring that type of thing up. What about you?
Well, I mean, if we're talking like criminal, and like really scandalous, I mean, you you have someone like this, right, that has a lot of pull, like these major corporations, and for him to say something like this, bring something like this out to light, like say, the media did catch wind of it and it ran with it, that fear would cause people to drop the hell out of Bitcoin, which will plummet the price and
Yeah.
would create a lot of opportunity for investors to go ahead and scrape it when it's low. Later on, he gets like, found out to be like a fraud or it's not genuine. But hell,
Mm.
this guy bought up a whole bunch of Bitcoin when it was low, and a damn near guarantee that it's going to go up. So that's kind of like the dark side of things. Like we don't really know if that's, the intention or like what's going on. All I know is like this shit just showed up on my TikTok feed, and I don't know, we were talking about it's an interesting conversation. So
Yeah.
however the hell you
No.
want to take it.
Yeah. No. It really is. And had brought up the name. I had seen him on a Vlad TV interview. So that's how I know a little bit about him, on being like a self-proclaimed like wealth teacher, I guess is what you could call him.
Yeah.
Um, just kind of crazy to me. But Yeah, we can move on from that one. But you
Just
did
one
bring,
thing real quick.
yeah.
Like I found this article here online. It's one of the first articles to be like Google any of this stuff. And it actually says American businessman Daniel Stephen Penna, also known as Dan Penna, claims to know who he wait up. That's a mistype. Who is behind Bitcoin? He believes Bitcoin is a Russian conspiracy designed to overtake the world financially. And the man behind leading cryptocurrency is none other than Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Ooh, what a
So,
bombshell that is.
I mean, if we're talking about like, how relevant and how, much attention Russia has gotten in the media as of late, Russia has gotten in the media as of late. I mean, that kind of just adds, another scare factor to it.
No, it really does. And I think it was Joe Rogan's podcast. He brought on somebody that they were talking about like other countries and Russia being like one of the main culprits, that they have people who specifically like create like these Twitter accounts and whatnot and go in and create these like crazy memes that basically gets people in the US to keep on barking at each other, and that it's very strategically done. So it's kind of like when I think about things like that and then think about, a conspiracy like that with him being involved, my mind just takes me to other places, honestly.
Yeah, like he literally claims that it's a Russian conspiracy to mess up the American economy via Bitcoin. I mean, if you kind of think of the rise of cryptocurrency, that's all Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the godfather of cryptocurrency, kind of as we know it today. So just
Yeah.
a bit down the rabbit hole to start things off. But
yeah, that's exactly how we just started it off. That's a beautiful
yeah,
thing.
definitely something to keep in mind.
Yeah, no, you had brought up something earlier, and I think since we started off with a conspiracy, I think we just go ahead and ruffle some feathers on this one.
Oh man.
You had brought up your TikTok and the
Yeah.
video.
Oh
your
man.
video, your video absolutely had me dying. And you basically you had fun with like uh like not trying to create a fake vaccine card, but you had fun with, making fun of it, I guess we can say.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
it's honestly a little bit silly, right? Like, I mean, as you guys, everyone, their mother knows, right? Like the CDC released this doc saying, like, if you're vaccinated, you're free to, not wear a mask. And then we have, our Lord and Savior, President Biden. Yeah, President Biden come up and drop this bombshell of a tweet, and this is where I just love the internet sometimes, man. People catch wind of it, dude, and just go crazy. Some people are like, oh, this is tyranny. This is the end of it. We had to fight back right here. And then, other people just bend the knee, and then like people fight people for, speaking out too loudly against it. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, almost everyone and their fucking mother is going to go out with no mask, and claim to be vaccinated now. So I kind of just thought it was a funny little video, man, to just, go on canva.com real quick, like make a quick little fake vaccine card, throw some like conspiracy theory ass text on it, like attach a nice little professional photo to it, and just send it, man. And like I created a whole little TikTok narrating the whole thing. And some people were really, really upset. I know like one person specific,
feathers ruffled, bro,
was super angry, man. But like for the most part, like, everyone can kind of get that's a joke. Yeah, there was that one. And then what's that guy's name? Bill de Blasio from he's the mayor of New York City. Like, I don't think I've seen such cringe media in such a long time.
Oh, with that video that you posted. Yeah, I saw that. This
like,
man,
dude,
go ahead and explain what he's doing, because I don't want to. I don't even want those cringe things coming out of my mouth. So I'll just leave it up to you.
See, man, like I heard from multiple different people that this is becoming a common thing where they're like bribing people with food to go get vaccinated, right? So like you go get vaccinated at this location, you get a free McDonald's Big Mac and an order of fries, right?
I seen one for a
Like
donut. I seen one
yeah,
for
like
cheeseburgers.
yeah, there's honestly like an endless amount of things I find to be so damn ridiculous is that you have the mayor of New York City like literally sitting up there in the podium, man, like making all these like food porn sounds, bro, just chowing down some soggy French fries and like a sorry wrap burger and
And you
just
know they're
trying
cold. You know those French fries are cold too. I don't
so
give a
cold,
damn. Those
so
are cold
cold.
French fries that he's eating.
No ketchup or anything, man. Just straight up like and just the way he, expressed that whole thing was just it's so sad. It's genuinely so sad
Yeah,
that this is what they're going through.
and it's absolutely sad too when these are elected officials
Right.
giving these talks, and you got this man stuffing his face with a cheeseburger and French fries. It's like
Right.
welcome to America. Like, you want people to get the vaccine, and then you're offering them the most unhealthiest things ever.
Right. Exactly.
It's mind blowing.
And from what I have read, like again, I found myself really diving into COVID and like, really trying to keep up with the science that was coming out. But it was so damn conflicting early on that I just like said, fuck it, this is too much. I'm just gonna go through and live my own life.
Yeah.
Right. And try and live as normal as possible. But one of the things they say is like obesity and COVID like really don't go well together, like more so than age, as far as the health problems that obesity brings to the table. So I find it really odd that like they're promoting this vaccination and then they're luring people in with unhealthy foods. It seems a little bit sus, man. Little bit sus.
The things that are the most unhealthiest things and the biggest problem towards it all, they are giving people that for a reward to get the vaccine. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I just got my tinfoil hat on, but I just don't think that makes absolutely any sense. Like,
honestly, I think it's okay nowadays to have a tinfoil hat on, man. Like everyone's kind of waking up to like the fact that like everything isn't as what it seems like. So the weirdest thing to me is seeing all these conspiracy theories come to life, like years down the line, and like, wait, what? That was actually real. Alex Jones, for instance, right, has like the most outlandish claims in the world, man. Like,
yeah,
and a lot of the shit that he says is complete nonsense, but every now and then, one of those ridiculous things actually turns up to be real.
And they're bombshells as well.
Yeah,
they're like, absolutely like it'll be a crazy claim, and then it's like,
whoa, he just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, like what's this thing called? Bohemian Grove. Have you heard of this thing?
I feel Go ahead and tell me. I feel like I have, but I definitely I don't know, but I feel like I've heard of it.
Okay, so I haven't dove too damn deep into this one, but back in like the early 2000s, maybe even before, Alex Jones like was talking about this place where all the elites and all the super rich and all like these major politicians, retreat into the mountains of California, and they dress up like wizards and they set fire to like totems and they do these like crazy little chants, and do all this like crazy like weird shit, right?
Sort of sounds like the KKK.
And you're like, what the fuck? Like why would all these super rich just retreat into a forest dressed like wizards? And like what the hell's going on here? And like then footage of it comes out and it actually seems to be somewhat true.
Whoa, they dropped footage of it?
Yeah, there's footage of it. You could find it. You probably not on Google and probably have to go on like DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, so if you're listening right now and you want to go watch it, you can go find it because we want this video to get published. If we show that video right now, we won't get published on YouTube.
Yeah. I remember like years ago before like YouTube got really strict on it when I first heard about this thing dropping. I remember being able to look it up and you could find it. But I don't know about now. Just really, really weird. Like maybe they had good intention. Who the hell knows? But regardless, it's like the shit that comes out of this guy's mouth is sometimes true. So it's always, valuable to kind of keep that tinfoil hat on. You never know.
Yeah,
You never know.
for sure. And even back to the vaccine part too, it's like, look, I get it. Like if you have like certain health issues or something like that, or if you're old, I mean, I get it. But I don't know, man. It's just so funny to see how much people are going at each other's throats, like for having like a separate opinion where they don't agree with the masks all the way. Like, let's face it, when we go into a restaurant, I mean, literally us today, we go walk into a sushi and then we're wearing a mask, literally 15 steps to the table and taking it right off. So it's like, it just doesn't make, it's like,
God damn it, man.
None of it makes sense. And it's like your card that you made and posted a video of it on TikTok. It was just so hilarious to me. And just going in after and you first posted it, and there was already a comment on there of someone that was just absolutely disgusted. It was
so disgusted. She was so disgusted, man. And this is the funny thing is like people like random people automatically jumped in there. Like, I think she mentioned something like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How is this funny? Or like, this isn't funny. And like some random dudes in there, like, yes, it is. Like, it's like, it's honestly hilarious, man. I think a lot of this stuff's hope. Like, I mean, if you're asking me, man, a lot of this shit's parody. Like the restaurant thing is by far, I think everyone has thought that at least once. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Like, what?
Yeah, and come on, man. We live in Las Vegas, and
It's so foolish.
I've been in the casinos multiple times, and it's like, bro, you're in there just, you're chilling, you're walking around, drinking the hand if that's your thing, or whatever the case may be. But you're in there, and it's like, okay, apparently this is a bubble for not to catch COVID or like what it's so ass backwards to me.
If you walk with a vape in your hand or a cup and you drink it every now and then, you have a invisible bubble around you where COVID won't spread. Or if you're sitting down at a booth, the booths are, engineered to prevent COVID from spreading as well. That's a whole nother fun aspect of it. I'm just honestly like, enough nagging. I'm just so happy that we're finally getting back to some sort of normalcy. Like, I mean, I don't know where the fuck I went. I went somewhere today with no mask. And man, it felt so good. It felt so good. It was one of those things like, starting to get back normalization still feels a little bit rebellious. Like, like I don't have to wear this, or, maybe I can still wear it, but it's like, fuck it. I'm going to be a rebel. I'm not going to wear it.
I was in Walgreens the other day. Walked right in with no mask on. Felt like an absolute outlaw, and I was loving every bit of it.
That's a perfect way to word it.
I was seeing my fellow outlaw members in there with no mask as well, and it's like, let's go.
Let's go.
We're back, baby. We're beating COVID one person at a time.
Or give them an actual proper handshake.
Yeah, a proper hand. I might give them a chest bump too while we're at it. I don't give a damn, man. Man, it's gone on too long. We're back, baby. We're back.
Yeah, I love how quick Vegas is opening up as well, man. We have like all different casinos, and hotels starting to open up back to full capacity. Oh man, in no time we're going to be back live.
Can't wait.
Who the hell knows what they're going to pitch us next?
Who knows? I mean, if we want to jump right back into the rabbit hole, which hell, we're already there. Let's do it.
Aluminum foil anywhere?
Yeah, go. Yeah, should I go pull out mine? I'll create a little hat real quick. I say we don't hear nothing for the next few years. I mean, we got hit with it during a presidential election, oddly enough, and it was such a big talking point. You know, they were having people. You're either on one side or the other side about it, and it's like we see who won. We see who's owning the house right now. They got their way. You know, it's like the show. I don't know. It's like we're not going to hear nothing about it. I bet.
Yeah,
It was
that's
it was a draw to get someone to get votes, this and that, and it's like we get something, we get hit with this something crazy again, or we just don't. Now that a side got their way, I mean, let's just face it.
yeah, that's a whole nother conversation that you and I have quite a bit. Um, yeah, man. So
Yep. Might as well just ruffle some feathers on this one.
feel
We're
a little
here.
bit free.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I'm so excited though, but go ahead.
Yeah, so do you have anything in the works right now? I saw that you recently were live and you were dropping some brand new music, introducing like a guitar solo into some hip hop music. Now, I've listened to quite a bit of music and I can't recall something like that that's actually hit and stuck. What made you start taking this whole new dive into music and just experiment, almost like crossbreeding like a rock and roll with hip hop, but you still make the guitar solo, the electric guitar sound like it just fits, man.
It did. Let's see what there's when I kind of look back on it, and it wasn't something that I was thinking about in the moment, but now that you're asking me, it's kind of like I'm getting thoughts that are running through my head. And I think being a fan of like a Tech Nine, Cypress Hill in their own ways, but they've always, especially Tech, he's had his own ways of crossbreeding genres like that. DJing a lot of EDM stuff for a while. You get that crossbreed of like hip hop with house, with trap. They're with rock and roll, some rock songs, stuff like that, some oldies. So it's kind of just been something that has been around me with DJing, and more so in particular when we were in the studio. Our buddy Nate, he's in there recording the hook, and it's just I'm hearing it, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
absolutely killed it.
he gets out of the booth and he comes back in where me and my engineer David Grants are, and I'm telling him, I'm like, wow. I was like, yo, that was like I got rock star vibes right now. And then I'm just sitting there, and it was like a light bulb that hit in my head, and I was like, wait, what if we have a guitar solo on here? And then it was like, yeah, what if we had a guitar solo on here? So my engineer structured it out. We added like a little bridge to go into like a breakdown of the beat. And yeah, so he referred me to a guy named Dylan, which is an absolute beast on the guitar. We had booked a studio session. We go in, and this man has never even heard the songs before. I ended up doing it to 2 songs. Originally, it was 1. And then the day before the studio, I'm re-listening to some of the songs on the album. And I'm like, I think this song fits too. And we go in and he just kind of just starts riffing around on it. And then we just start, just record it. And then David Grants just does his magic. And and it was so fun, and it opened up so many more ideas for me, because like I said earlier, with all the crossbreeding, like with like genres, like with EDM and people who've done it with hip hop, I could see why they do it. And it's just that extra element, man, that was like holy shit, like this just made the song like even that much more better. So we just tapped into the one song and then basically did the same thing for the second song and starting adding riffs over during like the hook of the song, certain parts of the verse we would go in. And yeah, so it was just something that just kind of came about through listening to through Nate's verse and hook. And next thing you know, about a week or two later, we're in the studio and we're recording it.
It's almost like just a signal of brilliance was just thrown right over your head and you captured it right at the right time at the right place. And
Yeah.
I'm honestly, I'm genuinely extremely excited to hear what that sounds like when it finally drops. And also, like, I can just imagine, like, being at that setting, how that probably had some sort of like mystical nature to it, like some sort of like genius breakthrough moment, but like, inspirational moment where you kind of maybe saw a whole different path you can maybe take with this. Like, maybe you found something that you could make completely original or something that's unique.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's unique to me, you know.
Yeah.
Music is so universal and it's you know, I think it's just a way on how we go about making records and how we do it. I think is very unique on our end. And frankly, it's just something that you don't really hear in hip hop songs too much. Like
No, like
you
I
ask
mentioned, I can't think of a single one. I mean, do you know of any? Maybe I can
as
listen
far
to.
as like hearing a hip hop song and then have it break down into like a full blown rock
Yeah.
guitar solo. To be honest, I really can't name too many. Like I can't
Yeah.
even name one right now to even use as a reference other than my songs.
That's that. Yeah, dude, that's honestly awesome, man. And like, we got this new buddy, Nate Dugan kind of coming back from the past, bro, coming in strong. Like when I first heard him get on some bars, man, I was blown away. Like the amount of potential and talent that this guy has, like
Yeah, no,
just
and it was awesome
definitely
show. It
slept on
was
him.
yeah, I mean, a lot of people are sleeping on him.
Yeah.
Even myself for a while. I'll call it for what it is. And that's just one of the beautiful things about when people are in your past and you decide to take that chance and reconnect with them. You get some that just don't work out, and then you get some of them like Nate, where it just feels like it was we picked up right where we left off. And yeah, no, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Nate Dugan. Um,
That kind
it's
of brings up you can
YB
go ahead and
Malice
finish.
is his name. So anyone who's listening, go check it out. And he's by far one of the most slept on and won't be for too long.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
But let me
You,
just touch up on something real quick because
yeah,
you
yeah.
brought up the point of being in the studio and getting that mystical feel. That's exactly what it was, honestly. Like having that idea was one thing to where we were all looking at each other like, yeah, that would be dope. But getting into the studio and watching the guy Dylan, the guitarist, lay it down and hearing it all come to life, that was probably by far one of the most coolest experiences I've ever had when it comes to music, whether if it's
Really.
DJing, anything, absolutely anything. So like seeing that vision come to life, and I'm looking at him and we're re-listening to the song and I'm like, that was exactly what I was hearing inside my head, but 20 times better. It was one of the first feelings where it was like, yeah, I think this song can have potential. So I'm definitely excited to showcase that when Pressure Point, based on a true story, drops in September. Absolutely.
That is so awesome, man. I would love like there was just camera in the corner catching everyone's reactions as he starts shredding in, like hearing it through, like,
I was
oh, this is
melting, bro.
nuts.
If you ask David Grant and you ask Barry Bands, because he was in the studio with me, and you ask Dylan, bro, I am in my seat about to fall to the floor because I'm just watching it and I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, this is insane. Like, and he's never heard the songs before neither. So it just goes to show, like, how good he is with his own craft. You know, he wasn't trying to go like way extreme and like showcase, like he was doing exactly what he had to make the song fit, like with certain parts of like during like the hook verse, and then when we hit the breakdown of it, and then he's just doing his thing. Like he could have went balls to the wall. Well, he definitely did, like how I look at it, but he executed it so perfect. And it's such a big shout out to David Grants, because he's the one who recommended me to him. And he man, David threw up the alley oop and Dylan dunked it, man, for sure. And I sat there under the hoop and I caught the ball.
Nice.
Yeah, it was an absolute it was an absolute beautiful moment being in that studio. And yeah, I wish there was a camera. Eventually there will be, but on the independent grind right now,
Yeah.
it's so, can't have a videographer at every studio session. So people who were there got to witness the magic, and the three other people got to see me melt in my seat.
That's awesome, dude. Like, once again, dude, I'm extremely excited to hear that whenever it finally drops. Kind of just going back real quick. I kind of want to sort of ask the audience a question. So recently we mentioned in our previous podcast that we're kind of on a mission of reconnecting with people from the past. And you even mentioned during this podcast here in our earlier conversation that like sometimes they strike out and every now and then they're sleepers, and they bang, like such as we reconnected with Nate Dugan. We all came from doing stupid shit in our youth to now we're growing up and we're kind of circling back, and very few are at that same or on that same wavelength that we're on as far as goals wise. And so I want to ask the audience, like, do you guys have anybody from the past that maybe you haven't reached out to yet, or maybe you have recently reached out to yet, that you have no clue you guys would still get along with, that just came through and blew you away or surprised you completely? I know for me personally, one of the most fulfilling things have been reconnecting with people where a lot of our memories are like doing delinquent shit, or doing things that aren't very, doing reckless things, and then being at this mindset now where we're both trying to grow, and we're chasing success. I think that's the most exciting thing to look back on. And I mentioned it before, but like, I'm so grateful for that. Like, you specifically have like really opened up that door to a lot of different people that I've completely lost touch of over the course of the years. And yeah, like, this is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Nah, it's super dope to hear you say that. I think it's one of those things that are just fulfilling on my end too. I know we've brought up Dylan Feege a couple times in different podcasts, but just can't help just keep on bringing his name up because he's such a good example.
Fucking killing the game right now, dude.
Killing it.
These Desert Services, man.
Desert Services. Make
Just
sure you hit that
killing it.
man up. And he absolutely kills it too.
Yeah.
But I think like, because I've done it on my own, and I don't know, it's just more like I have something in me to where we talked about like in episode 1 with my loyalty getting the best of me. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing 100%. What that has allowed is, yeah, it was bad for some things, like being like in the youth, but as we get older, it's also worked out in its own ways too, on letting my loyalty get the best of me, with allowing certain friendships and relationships to come back. And it was so dope because we got to have that one, and like seeing when me, you, and Dylan met up and got food, and just seeing like you guys reconnect and seeing that handshake into a hug. It was one by far one of the more cooler things that I've seen, to where it's like us three we haven't kicked it like us three in a long time,
Years. Yeah,
and
yeah.
to just see that like instant connection, that handshake into a hug, to where it's like, welcome back, brother.
Yeah.
And
That's exactly what it feels like, man. It's like it's just a almost as if nothing changed other than the setting, and our goals are aligned now. And something that I absolutely admire, man, is like having this group of friends. And none of us are like wildly successful or anything like that, but that's what we want. We all want the same thing. And to have each other to lean on to build ourselves up is something that I think everybody should try to find, whether that be going to a networking event, reaching out to old friends, maybe making new friends that are where you want to be, or maybe doing something that you would like to do. I think it is so damn valuable to reach out to those people and like really surround yourself with peers specifically
yeah,
that are chasing what you want as well. Um, it's almost like there's an accountability aspect of it. Like when I don't want to do anything, when it's like, okay, the devil comes knocking, I ain't gonna do shit today, right? I think like, fuck, I'd kind of be letting down Mixwell. Or damn, I'd probably be letting down this image that I'm trying to portray to my friends and to people of what I'm trying to be like as far as my whole journey. And that whole accountability aspect of it, I think, is very, very important for people to have some sort of system in place, whether it be your sphere or one close friend, a loved one, whoever it may be, that just keeps you in check. For some people, they can run solo and go all the way to the fucking moon.
yeah. No,
For some, you need that support system.
yeah, and I completely agree, man. And it's like it's it's dope, because it's like you get those texts where it's like, I'll get one from you one day where it's like, yo, hope you're having a good day, kick today's ass and accomplish what you need to. Or even just to give someone like what, like, it's okay to show people love, especially when they're starting it off. Like, that's what people need. And I just want to read off of a text message to where, like, you have done it to me, Dylan Feach has done it to me, me and Danny will have it through like FaceTimes. And this is as simple as what it is. This is my text to Dylan. Keep up the hard work, my brother. I got you for anything I can do in my power. Never forget that. Love you, brother. It's as simple as it is.
Yeah,
Really.
like really simple, right to the point, and just like I think it hits different too when it's random. When it's not like in response to something, it's just a random ass message. Those seem to hit so deep because most of the time they'll hit when you need it the most. Like, whether you're bored out of your mind grinding away or whether you're not feeling motivated.
And hey, let's
Something
use
like
Dylan
that.
for an example again. It's like he's starting up his business, and I'm like 98% sure that he was getting my text message while he was at his 9 to 5. Exactly what we talked about in the last episode of using your 9 to 5 as an investor. So it's
Yeah.
like, it was
We'll have
something
to
that,
bring him on pretty soon here.
yeah. And it was something that dawned on me, to where it's like, that's our boy. And it's like, I know he's busting his ass at a job that he doesn't want to be at for a long time. And it took me 5 seconds to write that text, and to just, and however he got it, his response back to me was really dope. And I just think it's dope, and it's pretty cool just to see how far our circle of friends are, to whether if it's text messages like that, or even what's growing like on social media, where one person will make a post like for their grind, because we all do different things at the end of the day. You and I come together on this, but everyone has something different. Dylan with his launch service, you with real estate, Danny with the LED billboard truck, with managing different artists, me with my music. And we're like creating this system, and it may not be a lot of people right now, but it's like we're creating a system to where we're all supporting each other by sharing each other's posts. And I just think that's super dope to me, honestly.
Yeah, and hopefully for anyone who's listening that's from Las Vegas specifically, or hell, maybe you're in the surrounding states, or if you don't mind traveling far, there should be something coming up in the upcoming months here that will probably excite the hell out of a lot of people, and it'll give a good opportunity to expand that sphere of like-minded people. I don't want to drop it yet because I don't have all specifics, but we are both working on something that's going to be absolutely huge, and I'm so excited for it.
Absolutely huge. And when you brought up the idea for it, it was like, wow, this is
It's
this is a
something.
good one.
It's something that definitely needs to be done more. It's something that I think, especially our age group. Um, I was mentioning that, like, I often feel like our age group, our peers are very far and few in between. Um, as far as like-minded people chasing success, there'll be a lot of people that just clock into their job and they're waiting to get out, to go home, watch Netflix, or to get ready to go out for the night. Um, and every now and then you find these people that are extremely driven. And I think it's very important to have some sort of network for these people to be able to get together, to be able to find each other a bit easier. Um, so that's kind of a little teaser of kind of what's to come. But
Yeah,
yeah.
no, great. Yeah, no, great idea. And it's like, I think anyone who's listening, be that person to go to the extent of starting to share people's posts. If you got yourself a little crew of people that are doing things, start sharing their posts. Lead by example on what you want to be done, and people will start to follow. And you don't have to call them followers or anything like that. But that's what a true leader is when you want something done around you, start doing it. Start sharing it. Start sending text messages just congratulating your boy. Because if you aren't congratulating them, you're a hater, straight up. That's how I feel. There's too much of the little like sneak disses and slick hating and all that, and it's like you're not a leader in my eyes if you do that. Like it takes, like I said, it takes nothing but a few seconds to hit a little quick congratulations, I love you. Let them know what it is on your end. And I think it'll go a long way. And just do it don't do it with expecting anything in return. Just do it because you're that type of person, or at least that's what I do, you do, we all do in our circle, everyone who's grinding. So I think that's really dope.
I think even doing it outside your circle will end up like growing your circle as well.
Absolutely. That's just another step to it.
Just at the end of the day, man, like I think I was having this talk with another buddy of mine the other night. Like we've grown up in such an antisocial society to where people are uncomfortable speaking in person so much. And I mean, this is kind of like feeding into that because a lot of this interaction is going to happen on social media. But even so, I think it's very important to be able to find a way to connect two people in the most human way possible, whether that be like a video or whether like, inviting them out to lunch or, actually just if everyone's saying like, congratulations, like don't say that same thing, maybe like slide into their DMs, and like acknowledge them there. That's a little bit more personal. I think all these like small little touches would definitely go a long way, and overall just making everyone view you in a brighter light and value you a lot more, which in turn brings a lot more love, a lot more positivity your way as well.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And even just little by little, I'm getting messages from people who are just giving it back to me, and it all comes at like random times. Like I just got a message the other day from some, like, I don't want to call him a random, but a person who I don't know that's like connected to my social network on Facebook or Instagram, whichever one it was. And he was just congratulating me, and then kind of was just letting me know like what he does and wanting to be successful, letting me know that, you know, his time hasn't come yet, but just trying to get himself around the right people. And I find that pretty admirable and and very respectable.
See, that right there is just setting yourself up for all that, right? Like, as far as all these actions that you've made in the recent past of like pushing this positivity, pushing this success, you know, like, I mean, creating this like clear, not discrete image of what you're trying to go for. You know, you're showing off your support system. That's very admirable. So for someone that, you know, that's just in your social sphere and an acquaintance to like reach out, that's direct proof that's working. That they may not comment on anything, they may not like everything, they may not share your post, but like at the end of the day, they're seeing that every now and then that one post breaks through. You know, and it's like
yeah,
giving them
exactly.
something to look for. And this is kind of like going back to where I said like our peers, like I think it's very, very important not so much to have a much older mentor or, you know, someone that's lived in a previous generation from you. I think when it comes from a peer, someone that is right around your age group, a millennial for many of us, I think that hits way deeper, way, way deeper, and it seems way more genuine. Um, and that's just, oh man, I can't I keep circling back to this event because I'm so damn excited for it. I'm so damn excited for it. But
Yeah, no, I totally agree. If it's someone like around your age or anything like that, it really just does make it seem more possible and more relatable too. Um, and I just want to give a big shout out to my big homie Raf. Um, he's a Grammy Award winning producer, produced the Lil Wayne song on the Carter 3 about Hurricane Katrina. That's what he won the Grammy for. And he's been showing me mad love, you know, and it's just so cool to see like someone that's like you're popping up on his radar, you know, where it's kind of like I hit him back. I was like, bro, I thought he forgot about me. You know, and what's even dope too is that kind of circling back to the song with the guitar solos on there. He commented on there and he just saw like the picture of me like in the studio, and then I tagged him in the video that I posted with a clip of the guitar solo. And what's funny is that he said that he just got done working on an album with someone that's like basically the same thing.
that's
And
wild.
so wild. And I was like, man, a goat like you, for someone who's doing that, just lets me know that I'm headed to the right direction. You
Yeah,
know, and he was just hyping me up, telling me that he can't wait to hear the final product and stuff like that. And it's like that's dope as well. So no matter who, it's like always more relatable with the age. And I don't think he's not old, but he's not like my age. But I just think kind of regardless of where it comes from and the respect that you hold for that person, I feel like it kind of just, you know, it should mean a lot to you, and you should never take that for granted.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So let me ask you one thing here. Get ready for the curveball.
let's do it.
What does success mean to you in a 60-second response?
You know, for my parents who have done so much for me, they've been through so much with being not having a lot of money, taking care of my sister, going through back and forth, my mom and her going back and forth to Toronto trips for chemotherapy sessions of when she was losing her eyesight. Parents who have been down for me, all my siblings. I think part of what success would mean to me is taking care of them, taking care of my sister, taking care of the family members, um, doing what I love to do, and just living comfortable off of that. Whether if that means getting if it comes with multiple zeros in the bank account or enough to be paying my bills and live, and live a pretty comfortable life, I think that's what success would mean to me, is just having that freedom to be able to take care of my family, get everybody right, have my people right, and give it to the people that who I think deserve it the most, that have been there through the thick and thins, especially when it comes to the troubles like me, stuff that I put my parents through, and all of that. So I think that's what it would mean to me, is being able to take care of my people and have my people eat right, and have them, just being able to get them right.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I find like that seems to be a very like yours is a bit unique, but almost everyone that we ask this question to gives a similar answer, but there's always a unique passion behind it. It's a beautiful thing.
It is absolutely a beautiful thing. But I think that's going to wrap up episode 4 of the Independent Mind podcast. Always, it's a pleasure talking and hanging with you, brother. We will catch everybody next week for episode 5, dropping on Monday. We'll see you guys later. Stay